Hello everyone, and welcome to VOD of Consciousness with Sientir. I'm Sientir, and today we're going to finally take on the Imperial Sanctum, which we prepared like half of last episode to do. And I'm doing it on hard mode because I get more stuff for doing it in hard mode. And let's just jump into it here. So Kunavang here will offer us some skills. The skill isn't particularly useful. We saw it last time. It does some area of effect and prevents damage to us. But the thing is, we need morale boosts to be able to get it back, and I'd rather have skills that I can repeatedly use rather than that. And I set up a lot of my party, well, not my monks, but a lot of my party is specifically geared towards trying to deal with some of the stuff that Shiro Takachi does. I particularly, notably, bringing an assassin for Wild Strike. Probably should have tweaked the bar a little bit more, but I'm interested in making my assassin immune to critical hits, so we'll see how this goes. It might take a couple of runs to get it properly, just because it's been a long time since I've done it. Let's see. He also has a skill called Meditation of the Reaper, which we break through inflicting enough damage, and a lot of the damage that I have with me is, what's the right phrase? Phrase. It's reactive to what he's doing. I don't need all these things up. But anyway, so he has a bunch of really deadly stances. I want to pull my dudes back a little bit. He also teleports around with this Riposting Shadows skill. So, yeah, so here's Meditation of the Reaper. This ends when you've dealt enough damage to him, and then it kind of inflicts AoE stuff. And then some of his skills are stances that ends... Whoa, where's my mouse? There's my mouse. So Impossible Odds is just ludicrously powerful, and that's why I have had an assassin with me. Was to counter Impossible Odds, because it's a stance, but obviously I needed a better assassin build. Okay, so I would need to do some recalibrations with what I'm doing with my build, because Impossible Odds is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so what you saw there was us getting horrendously wiped. The first thing that I want to do actually is come over here to Zenmai and dump this earth magic stuff. It's cute, but not what I need. And so a lot of the talk this episode is probably going to be focused on what I need to do for this one until I actually get through it. So, is it under... Okay, critical defenses. That's the skill I'm looking for. And... let's see... This is strong, but I think this is just more useful here. The big thing is that this ends the stance, but this is a defensive skill that allows her to block. That's not a very good skill. Huh. Well, I mean, I could just use this, or I could use this. Yeah, I should give her some sort of elite skill, shouldn't I? Now I need to think about what I want to use. Way of the Assassin is probably fine here for what I'm trying to do, honestly. Doesn't really need spec and anything else. So I want her to try to tank for us. This is to help try to keep things under control with blind, which feels reasonable. Actually, is communing where Shadow Song is? I'm going to cut the restoration magic. go into communing. The reason for that is Shadow Song inflicts blindness every attack, and that's going to help control things. And then just having more attacking spirits means... do I need Nightmare Weapon? Not really. Nightmare Weapon's a bit or whatever. Displacement would just go down instantly. I'm just thinking about what other skills I might want to bring. This is probably fine. So a lot of what I'm trying to do is set my guys up to... Actually, Boon of Creation would probably be useful. To punish what he's trying to do, as it were. I don't know. Is there something I should be doing differently? Honestly, I'm just gonna dump this and boost leadership, fear mastery, and command. And the reason why is these just take up a bunch of stuff, and I think defensive anthem is better here. Let's see, what was... Aegis is probably also... I'm just gonna set my monks up to be able to Aegis chain. Aegis? I don't know, whatever. Because I think that's gonna be useful. That's not exactly what I'm trying to do, but that would be funny. I don't think you move like dwarf is especially going to be helpful here. Find their weakness might be... No, that's not really what I'm doing, though. Let's just throw on an Angelic Protection. Okay, again, this is going to be hard because A, I'm doing it in hard mode, and B, this guy does a lot of damage when you get his health down low. So the first part is non-indicative of how challenging the overall thing is, because he starts off being, frankly, a bit anemic in terms of how dangerous he is. But when his health gets low, Impossible Odds turns on, and Impossible Odds is very dangerous. So that's why, excuse me, I'm bringing Zenmai with this defensive skill, and then Wild Strike, which cancels stances, because something that he does that's really strong is a stance. I'm just gonna skip this time. We don't need to see it. Might be Battle Scars. Yeah, Battle Scars. So for right now, he's not really dangerous. So he will become dangerous. Well, this is just an annoying skill. Fortunately, we have a lot of damage in the form of spirits. Plus, I mean, every time he attacks, he's getting absolutely hammered. Impossible Odds is where things start going south. Because with that, he can transfer negative conditions to other people. And that just does just absolutely absurd amounts of stuff. We're doing okay now, though. Okay, so we got it that time. So that build worked. And we just got Mastery Rewards, so that's exciting. This is a wise monk type character that we meet much earlier on, but... and the students thereof. So I can explain that moment in a moment. Psychopomps, apparently, is what those ghostly guys are.
I demand that you release me.
You are no longer an envoy. You cannot demand anything from us.
Of course I am. You have no power over me.
You are wrong, Shiro.
Denial and disorientation are common among the newly dead.
No. No. This cannot be.
You are merely a new spirit, lost between the realm of the mortal and the underworld.
You are our charge now.
We have reserved a special place in the underworld.
Boilers, it's the realm of torment,
A place
aka Tartarus.
for escape from.
A place where you will finally pay for all of your sins.
I will get you all for this. This is not the end of me.
You are right about that. This is not your end. But you will wish it was.
We thank you for your help in capturing Shiro. We will be watching over you, waiting for the day when you will join us in the afterlife.
Until then, live a long and fruitful life.
Wait, what are you going to do to Shiro?
Man, I cannot keep straight who's supposed to be there.
Us worry about Shiro.
Yeah. So, yeah, as you can see, you got through that pretty quickly. So what happened there at the end, when he had the yelling thing and all that stuff happened, when he was killed initially, he... oh yeah, and this is sort of the end screen with Soon over there. But when he was killed initially, he unleashed the Jade Wind that turned... I mean, if you look over here, it turned the Jade Sea to Jade and the Echovold Forest to stone. And what they did is they contained that. So as he's dying there, he released that energy again, and they contained it so that way it was turned back in on him, and he ended up dying instead, or jading only himself, as it were. So he says, "Hey, congratulations, you did it. The world owes you a great debt." Character name and whatnot. Bunch of stuff there, whatever. I'm not here for endgame dialogue. Says he will no longer trouble us. The undevised take him to a special place in the underworld where he pays for his crimes, etc. A couple of adepts, I guess, that we can talk to. We'll have a lot of people talking to us, but right here is a spot. Oh, they added some spears and stuff. That's cool. So like this person, for example, you can get wayward wands or straw effigies for your monks. Like, this is one of the things about the casters is they all kind of are redundant. So the spears one, ceremonial spear, which is fine, or a decent shield, which I might go for. That and then the scythes one are newer. They weren't when the game first came out. Draconic scythe. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Not sure if that's what this character would want anyway. I mean, I do have a scythe. It's this one right here. It's a Furious Scythe, so. And then this guy has some bows. This one has some daggers. You can get Shiro's blades, but know that they require 13 dagger mastery. So to use these effectively, you do have to be an assassin where you can get 13 dagger mastery. Then there's the ceremonial daggers here, which are just different skin. They're zealous. They're fine. Steel, so you can get Shiro sword, but note that it also requires 13 swordsmanship. Dragon Crest Axe, Gavel of the Nephilim, and then a couple of Exalted Aegises for the what's the word I'm looking for? For the warrior attribute lines. Gavel of the Nephilim is a cool looking hammer, but it's scaled a little bit small. Dragon Crest Axe is just a dragon themed axe. And then more wayward stuff for your elementalists. I think, because looking at what this character has this shield with which is kind of questionable. That one is not helpful. This one's fine. So this is motivation too. This is the same sort of thing, but motivation. And then this one is command, but doesn't have any script in it. So it's just health plus 30, which is fine, but really wants a script. I don't need this particular spear. I'm happier with this Furious one, but I'm thinking of getting, was it command? This shield. I think I will do. And go ahead and equip now, actually. So it's kind of a cool skin with a bunch of wings and stuff. So otherwise, yeah, we got a platinum from succeeding at that. Otherwise, you can see here's Brother Menlo and Sin, and they have a bunch of dialogue, but this dialogue just kind of shows the beginning of the blossoming relationship between the two. And it's just kind of some silly banter. I will note over here, something that you'll see is we have some armor smiths for special armor for this campaign. So some elite armor here, so you have to get it from after beating them. But obviously I can't do anything there because I don't have the right stuff. You can also make some +5 energy weapons, I guess, for whatever reason. So if you want a +5 energy katana, you can make it here. Kind of overpriced, if you ask me. They'll continue talking, and there's just a bunch of people that celebrate. Hooray, you did it. You won. Yeah, I know. Not a whole lot more to say than that, honestly. So, just various NPCs from various areas. A lot of this dialogue is kind of oriented specifically towards like the ending. If you look on the map, by the way, we're just walking along the side of the palace. This is kind of like on the ramparts, I guess. They're absolutely enormous. And as you walk through, they have triggers to bow and all sorts of stuff. And then there's a bunch of Kurziks right here that are like, yay, you did it. And then you get past the Kurziks and you get to all the Luxons that are like, yay, you did it. You won. You're the hero and all that business. And I also got this scythe. The main reason why I'd want to get the scythe from the end of this is it has a unique skin. Elder Rhea is kind of the leader of the Luxons, by the way. They have a much more tribal setup and are kind of nomadic. Pretty interesting. They did a good job, I think, of kind of making the Luxons and Kurziks have very different cultures, kind of differentiating them that way. But anyway, so you cross over from that side to this side, and man, it is a long walk. But I have a miniature flowstone elemental. Yay, there's my miniature flowstone elemental. So it is important to have this sort of celebratory thing after beating a game, though. I think it matters to do. I don't know why I have this big empty hall here. But then this is a bunch of ministers and stuff, and there's a bunch of like political stuff, so if you talk to them, they're like Yeah, they basically are all just a bunch of politicians. I'm a man of the people. Would you mind spreading the word around? I do not like speaking to peasants. Like, it's just a bunch of stereotypical, like, politician, like, sort of stuff. Yeah. Anyway, as the peasant says, you ministry officials are worthless. It's kind of the idea of, like, worthless politicians that promise things and never deliver. Here's Nika. She's a descendant of the assassin who helped kill Shiro initially. And I'm not dwelling on this because I've seen it a bajillion times before. This is far from my first time going through here. You can tell because I know what to do. And then I'm going to get a bunch of Zeischen copper coins. So one of the things that you'll notice is I did the bonus of completing it within time and completing it in hard mode. And that's worth a bunch of bonus stuff. You can, by the way, rangers can have pets, and you can get a phoenix for a pet. It's not any better or worse than any other pet. It's kind of big, but, you know, whatever. It's an option. And then the Emperor does stuff and says things. I think he might bow to you eventually at some point. I don't know. At this point, you can go back to Tanakai Temple and see Master Togo there, as I recall. But I'm just going to walk in Kaining Center because I don't care. One of the things that's really cool is it does let you off into this unique part of Kaining Center. You can't normally get up onto this balcony. It is not especially useful to come up here. The only thing up here is an NPC that lets you not be up here, because there's literally nothing to do up here. But it's interesting that they do. So, and then after this episode, I'm going to need to reset a bunch of NPCs. But you know what? We will set our farewells here because this has been long enough. So, until next time, everyone, take care. Bye bye.